and get started here. Alright, so for those of you who weren't here last week for lesson 1, sorry you missed it. Looking at two people specifically. It was a really basic lesson. We just talked about different types of variables and booleans. So we're going to review real quick. Can anybody tell me what is a variable? Anybody? What is a variable? Anyone? I mean, Andrew?
I can take a guess. A variable is like a stored value that you use.
Yes.
Good job, Andrew.
PHP, maybe?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Alright, what is a boolean? Anyone remember that one? Boolean?
Look,
No?
you've got a hero over here.
Alright, you?
Is it like when you can store something and be it be true or false?
Right. True or false, and only true or false, nothing else. A function, we briefly talked about functions. What is a function? Just like a really general, basic idea. Function?
I'd say it's a block of organized, reusable code that is used to perform a single related action, but I'm not sure.
Well, I'd say you're correct.
Sure Google would agree with you too.
Fun fact, Bing is now using, they return code snippets if you search for certain programming terms. Still won't make me use Bing. Anyway, so a function basically is a little piece of code that you call to do something, right? So we looked at the print function last time. Obviously that just returns whatever you said inside the print function. Okay, so let's actually do some programming. And I completely forgot what I was going to do. Okay. Okay, so let's just move on. We'll do some programming in here. I think that slide was supposed to be later. Anyway, so what we're going to talk about first are if loops and or if statements. And Smart, do you want to go to that?
Sure. So in science, you have your if-then hypotheses. So this is pretty similar. If is like a function. So if this condition is true, then you execute it. You can also have like else functions and else if, and we shorten that in Python to elif. So if you look here, if my condition equals true, then execute function. Now, if you notice the double equal signs, that's very important because a double equal signs, if you remember from last class, is basically a comparison. So it's like, is this thing equal to true? Then it'll execute the function. Now, if this is false, if my condition is equal to false, it'll go to the elif statement. So next it says elif my int equal to 4, do something else. So if my int is equal to 4, then it'll do something else. Now if my int isn't equal to 4, it'll go to the else statement, which says print nothing works, just give up. Nice.
Yeah. So so the else is sort of like the default almost. So it's going to do that unless one of those two top conditions is true. So an if statement takes a boolean and it looks to see if it's true, and if it's true, it does whatever is tabulated. You have to put it in. You just hit the tab key under the if condition, under the if line, and then you put whatever function you want to do, or you can set a variable equal to something under there. It does whatever code is in there. So that's an if statement. Any questions on if statements? Pretty straightforward. Okay. We'll practice it. So the other thing we want to do that's really important is, right now so far what we've done is you've just had you define your variables and it might print out something, but basically you, the programmer, has to go in and change those variables if you want something different to come out of the program, right? Now, what if you want, I mean, obviously, real-life programs don't work like this, at least most of them. So you need some kind of interface with the user, right? So what we use for that is the raw input function. So I'm going to come really quickly to my, I'm not going to use Atom right now because this is quick. I'm just going to go here, the Python command line. You guys remember this from last time. And I'm going to type user input equals raw input. Raw input is the function, and after every function you need a set of parentheses. So that's what we do. So you put the parentheses afterwards, and we'll get into why that is later. But if I run this code, what's going to happen is nothing's going to happen. It's very interesting. I wonder.
You need Python 2.
Yeah. Okay. So raw input is with Python 2.
What is it now?
It's just input with Python 3. So I briefly discussed the different versions of Python in last class, how they're annoying. But anyway, so now what you can see is I've got a little cursor there. I don't know if you guys can see that on the video, but you've got a little cursor there, and it's prompting me to type something. So what do I type? Type my input. That's what I'm doing, right? I'm giving input, but I mean, okay. I didn't really know what to type there. So sometimes you need to tell the person what to type, right? Because if you just, for example, if you just go to a website and there's just an input box, but that doesn't help, right? So what we can do is between these two parentheses, we can put in something like type a number. And put a colon there just to make it more clear. And see, now it'll pop up with type a number. I go, oh, type a number. Okay, I can do that. So let's do 234. And so now if we print the variable user input, 234. Right, that's pretty straightforward. So just keep in mind, if you're using Python 2, it is raw input. If you're using Python 3, then it's just input. So any questions about that? Oh, okay. Let's see, what do I have? All right. So we're going to do some practice now. It is your turn to code. So what we're going to do to practice this is we're going to make a program that takes a number from the user and tells them whether it's even or odd. Now, one thing that I'm going to remind everyone of from last class we talked about that's going to be really useful here is the modulo operator, which is the percent one. Does anybody remember what that does? No? It returns the remainder of whatever you have. So if you have, for example, 10 mod 4, then 4 goes into 10 twice, remainder 2, right? So that's going to equal 2. 2 is the remainder. If you have 9 mod 2, it's going to be 1. So see if you can figure out how you can use this to get back even or odd numbers, and Samartha and I will come around and help you. And use Atom to write your code, just type your code in, and we'll help you run it when you think you're finished.
And just a hint, you'd want to use these modulo things as well as if and else
Right.
statements.
You're going to use if and else statements.
And the user input. Basically everything we've gone through.
Everything we've gone through so far, just practice. And we'll come around and help you if you have questions. You know, we can actually, it might be helpful.
Yeah, can you guys go back to
This slide
Yeah, syntax.
or
the next one?
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So actually,
you should actually change
yeah,
that.
I should, because these computers are all running Python 3, so just do input. All right, let's go Matt, this would be a great time to like cut the video and, you know.